Well, hello, my wonderful hive, and welcome to my latest video. Let's get started, shall we?
Walking the streets like a model, leading the way and they follow. I'm turning it up, burn it up like a sauna, and I'm gonna be who I wanna. Freaking the bad like I'm Crystal, freaking the mood like an idol. I'm turning it up, burn it up like a sauna, and I'm gonna be who I wanna. She gon' be that chick. All about that grind, cause I wanna be that chick. All about that grind, cause I wanna be that chick. All about that grind, cause I wanna be that. I want moves like whoa, hella style, confidence. I want swag like hey, slaying in every way. I'm working all day, I'm not no need no help. I'ma be just fine. I'm all about that grind, cause I wanna be that chick. 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 I wanna be that chick.
You ain't no damn body.
You are without doubt the worst pirate I've ever heard of.
Another little pissant nobody who is trying to make a damn name for themselves.
But you have heard of me.
No, I'm the bee, like from nature.
Now, the moment you've all been waiting for. The royal hostess with the mostest. The queen bee with the money, honey.
BeePlus.
That's right. And it's time you all bow to the real Queen Bee.
You're stealing all the bees just because you're jealous?
No, that's just a bonus. My actual plan is to capture all the queens. Their hives will then have no choice but to follow me.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Welcome back. This is BeePlus, aka Emma, and it is a dreary Sunday here. It is raining. It's kind of gross out, but let's kick off this stream with what I think there's about to be here. So, like I mentioned in my previous stream, I have a really long video of clips that I want to go over with you. Now, as most of you know, I am a grad student, so today is one of the days that I need to do a lot of my schoolwork. So we're only going to go through the first 10 or so minutes of this, but as most of you know, like those 10 minutes usually turns into an hour of a stream. So it works. It's a win-win, right? So we're going to get into that in just a moment. But, I think I added a couple of clips and a couple of things to, add some pizzazz to my channel, to my streams, get creative with it, I don't know, have some fun. And I think this one is pretty appropriate.
Oh, there's about to be some tick turtles. Ooh, there's about to be some tick turtles.
Sure are about to be some tick turtles. So, as most of you have probably guessed by the title of the live and the thumbnail, I'm going to be reacting to Natasha Cooper today. And these are some clips that I've been throwing together for months now. And I'm actually not even entirely sure what's in these right now. And I'm not really, so I'm going into this pretty much blind here. Like, I did put this video together. However, I haven't listened to it. I don't know what's been kept in. I don't know. I've gotten kind of lazy with editing because it doesn't matter. I mean, like with her long pauses, I can just talk over them. And if she, has some information that isn't pertinent to what I'm talking about, well, that's okay too. And I can just talk over that as well. So it doesn't really matter. But I mean, firstly, I wanted to take this opportunity to, first of all, say thank you all for your support. Please take a moment to hit that like button right now. If you have not subscribed to my channel already, which I don't know why you wouldn't have, please consider subscribing. I would love to have you here. And I plan on being on here more consistently going forward. Hence why I'm trying to do a video a day. I know that's not really realistic, but I'm going to try to do at least 2 or 3 a week. And I think that is a realistic goal and something that I can commit to because you guys deserve it. You guys are amazing. I love this community. I have some amazing people. So also a great way to help support my channel that's absolutely free, like I said, is to hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and drop in the comments what you think about something that, or just to say hello. I like interacting with you guys, And that's a great way to help me get in the algorithm and to kind of get my channel out there to reach new viewers, and also to kind of just give me some feedback and let me know that you're enjoying it. Because that, like I said in my last stream, I'm very reward driven. Pet me and feed me cookies and tell me I'm pretty. And, I'll love you forever. So, you guys know what I mean. But yeah, guys, I mean, yeah. So let's see. I don't know what these, and I live in a really busy intersection, so there's always, and I have the windows open because it's a little hot and humid. Um, but yeah, let's get started on this without further ado, shall we? Because let's see. Like I said, we're gonna start off with like the first 10 minutes or so. Dun dun dun. I hope everybody is having a great day and a great weekend so far. Wait. I always get so confused. No, you guys don't want to do my grad school homework. That's silly. Okay. This should be it. All right, let's do this. Let's do this.
Hoes who think they some shit when you really ain't nothing but a steaming pile of Donkey Kong shit. Don't take that away from me. Ever. I will always be back, and I will always be better. Every time one of y'all dumbasses has took my channels down, I come back better than before.
Yeah. You know what that makes me think of, guys? I know what that makes me think of when she says that. All I can think of every time she pops back up again is this. Let me turn that up, though. All I can think of is just starts playing in my head. Every time. But, I don't think I've ever been called a hoe before, so that's a first. Actually, that's not true. I've never been called a hoe prior to coming onto YouTube. That's for sure. That I've been called a lot of things, but that's not one of them. But yeah, there was a certain somebody who likes to, I'm not even going to mention them. Like I said, it's like Beetlejuice, and if you mention their name too many times, you're going to have like a billion community posts and videos made about you. And I just really would really prefer it if she left me alone, considering I've never done anything to her, and everybody probably knows who I'm talking about. Because I really only have one obsessive stalker on here that I know. But 1.5, I'd say 1.5. But let's continue. And Natasha, nobody's taking your channels down. Like, you're not supposed to be here. YouTube has said you're not supposed to be here. You continue to put yourself back on the platform. So if YouTube becomes notified of that, and that's why the reporting system's there, if people are reporting you, I don't know. I've never reported you, but it's there if people feel that there's something that shouldn't be happening, which I think you being here and evading a ban would fall under. I mean, I just don't understand your logic. Just take accountability. Stop pointing fingers. Like, I'm so sick of it. And a lot of other people are too.
And better. And I will do the same damn thing this time.
Mm-hmm.
Wait and see. Because I'm
still waiting.
Not a one-hit wonder. I'm not somebody who built a channel once on one topic and can't do it again.
Really?
I know what it takes
Mm-hmm.
to build a channel.
Okay.
And I know what it takes to maintain one. And I sure as shit know what it takes to sustain and keep people interested.
No. You don't know. No, you don't know how to maintain one, because if you knew how to maintain a channel, Natasha, you would still be here because you'd be following terms of service. Sorry. That's just the truth. And you don't. So clearly you don't know how to maintain a channel. And this is what I've said before. You and I have very different business styles. Your business style is directed at getting immediate results, but it has a lifespan. It's not sustainable. While you might get results faster, while you might grow quickly, while that might work for you in the short term, how I build my business is more slow going and done for like a long-term relationship with my customers and clients. And it's built on like a mutual trust and understanding, and just people come back for more. It's not like I burn through people to make a profit and then have this turnover. I don't think that's not my style. So while I take a little bit longer to grow and yield results, I'll be here. I'll still be here. I'm not going anywhere. And I'll get, if I put the work in there, you get results. And the only reason, and like I said yesterday, I'm so sick of people who think that they're better than everybody else and say stuff like, others don't have what it takes and that they can't possibly do a channel or build a channel as well as they can, and that they suck and that they don't have what it takes and they're jealous. I mean, Natasha, you say this stuff all the time, and that's really not it. Like, I can only speak for myself, of course, but the only reason that my channel hasn't been growing lately, the only reason is because I don't have the time in my life to commit to being on here consistently, which is what it takes to build a channel. That's the only reason. That's the only reason. I mean, I know people like to tell themselves that there's something special and that, something that they're doing makes them superior to others, and maybe that's all they have, and maybe that's, I don't know, I'll just let you have that, I guess, but it has nothing to do with that. It has everything to do with the fact that I just don't have the time in my life right now to commit to YouTube. If I did, I think it would be a different story. So let's see what happens, right? Let's see what happens. But, Natasha says she's not a one-hit wonder. Well, here's the thing, Natasha. So when you first came on here, you were covering the Chris Watts case, and you covered that. Well, I think you did the Gypsy case, but that was more on Facebook, right? If I'm not mistaken. But you were doing the Chris Watts case, and of course, you found that if you put salacious titles for your lives, that you gets a lot of clicks. And I know your plausible deniability that you were saying, because I know I played not too long ago the time that you went up on Carolyn Mommy Ramblings panel when she confronted you about how you were exploiting things. And I know that your response to when she said, I'm looking right now at the titles of your lives, and it says, these salacious things that just aren't true, and you're stating it. And Natasha, your response was, well, I put a question mark at the end, and then I said it wasn't true, but after people clicked on it. I myself was one of the people that saw that and clicked on it. So it's 100% clickbait. And you built your channel on that. And then with the Petito case, you happen to, I mean, to be fair, with the Petito case, to be fair, you did put the time, and by time, I don't mean work, I just mean time, literally just time, into being on consistently and streaming. And that's definitely what you would need to do for that. And and like I said, I have a lot of opinions about what's going on right now with the Kylie Rodney case, and I'm going to do a whole live on that, just kind of giving you guys my side and my argument with it, because I will be interested in hearing how you guys feel. But what I'm seeing with that case, I'm not going to lie, guys, I think it's worse than what Natasha has done here. And what Natasha did was wrong. Like, that was definitely exploiting a case. She definitely was suggesting that things happened that did not happen, or stating that things happened that didn't. And I do have a problem with that. But I don't know. Something about this just feels worse. And I think it's interesting how things play out. I think it's interesting to see where we are a year later. And I wish somebody could take a snapshot of it, because I think it would be really interesting to compare. But that's just how I feel. And I have a whole live plan for that. So this is not what I'm going to go into with this, but and Natasha, it's you did try to do other true crime and nobody really watched it. In fact, you had one instance where you were scolding people and angry because nobody went to your live about the missing children. And now I respect the fact that you did that you tried, well, I guess, kind of tried to bring attention to these cases that nobody's talking about in various states, but really, you kind of went about it the wrong way. Instead of taking advice from mods that I know were giving you certain advice on how to make it more engaging and actually make people feel invested in the cases you're discussing, to maybe actually get some, make a difference and impact in a positive way, you were just showing the missing person website. And I don't know. I feel like you didn't really put your heart into it quite like you did some of these other quote unquote other cases, because it's not lucrative. And then you were yelling at people for not showing up. So, and when you do your true crime, I mean, it's not like you have a huge crowd like you used to. And I know you keep bragging about it, and I have to agree with you on some points. I do agree on some points, but not all. But let's continue with this.
Y'all don't. All you have is drama.
Mm-hmm.
Drama's all right, but I got more than that.
Do you, though?
And y'all don't.
Okay.
And I take y'all's bullshit, and I take y'all's bullshit, and I take y'all's bullshit. And then when I have enough and I clap back, then I'm the bad guy. Nah. What I am is strong. And what I am
What are you, Natasha?
is somebody that you will never be.
Thank God.
You will never, ever be 1/10 of what I am.
Okay. Well, first of all, I don't really wouldn't, want to be who you are. I know you say a lot that people are jealous of you. I know that Natasha loves to say that everybody else is jealous, everybody else wants to be her and is jealous of her money and jealous of her talent for true crime and her talent for doing lives and building a community and blah 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 blah. No, I don't think that's really it. I don't think that's really it. I think I think people are more just and you started this. You started this. People don't just have an issue with you like out of the blue randomly. These aren't just people that came over and you've said even recently, Natasha said even recently that she's had people that have had issues with her for 4 years or so since, she was on Facebook. And doesn't that make her newer subs wonder why that might be? Because this isn't new for her. This is a pattern of behavior, a pattern of stuff that happens over and over and over and over again. And she makes a mess, and everybody gets very angry, rightfully so, when and she's taken it to a whole new level with this grifting with the 20K. That was her mistake. That was her mistake. Had she not reached that, had she not gotten that greedy, I don't think people would be as uh I don't think that she would have been the main focus of things quite as she, and I'm glad she did though, because I'm glad because her behaviors needed to be called out on this type of scale for quite some time. And I just I don't know, guys. I don't know. I think she's really counting on the fact that a lot of people weren't there for that time. And in a way, guys, her channel's not being here and her content not being available is almost to her advantage, because now she can say that things did not happen. And if you didn't happen to have a clip for it, which, I don't even want to, I'm not a clip channel and I don't take clips the way I used to because I just don't care and I don't need them. And it's a waste of space on my phone. But I wasn't doing like recording stuff at that time. And, there's obviously people couldn't catch everything. So, I mean, she really can spin the narrative however she wants. And, the unfortunate part is that there are no receipts, quote unquote, except for what those of us who were there heard with our own ears and saw with our own eyes. But there's always going to be that ability to twist that into not being true, which is really frustrating. It's frustrating. But, it is what it is. So we can just continue to call out the ridiculousness and the BS and the lies. And that's what I intend to continue. Not because I'm obsessed, not because I'm jealous, not because this is what I want to do. It's a choice. I don't need to do this. There's no shame in my game. I don't do this because it's the only thing that gets me views or whatever. It's not really what I care about. That's not really what I care about. I just have a lot of thoughts and opinions and I can share them. And that's what I enjoy doing. And I enjoy talking to all of you guys and letting you guys let me know what you think is going on. But I think something that's really interesting, guys, it's really interesting, is that anybody who's talked to me privately, and there's a few of you, I'd say at least 85% of the things that I have said were going to happen have come to pass. I'm very perceptive, and I usually see things from a mile away. And it is just so interesting to me how much I have been right about it. I'm like, I have the biggest grin on my face right now because it's truly, I'm like, I've outdone myself. But I'm very perceptive and I generally can see things for what they are. And yeah, so we'll talk about that later in this video, but let's continue.
Ain't none of y'all combined together been through the shit that I've been through. And if you have, your ass would be somewhere wandering around in the damn floor like a hog in some slop, crying like the titty baby bitches y'all are.
Mm-hmm.
Not me. I pull my ass back up by my bootstraps and I go again.
No,
and
you
again,
don't.
And again.
And we wish you wouldn't.
And I don't even give a shit how many times I get knocked down.
Yes, you
never
do.
Keep me there.
Okay. Well, and she does this a lot too. She likes to discredit and kind of belittle anything else that other people have been through. So she'll be like, well, nobody has had it as bad as I have. nobody has ever been through. And if you had been through what I've been through, and she always tells her subs too to like that, she doesn't want to hear it and that they don't know what she's going through. Nobody knows how hard it is to be Natasha Cooper, what she's going through. Lady, no, I can't speak to say that I know what you've been through in your personal life. I can't say that because I don't know. But when it comes to what's happened to you here on social media, actually, I do know. I do know. And I've been open with what happened to me and when I was canceled and how angry I was about that. But here's the thing, Natasha. The difference between me and you is that it came to a point where I had to take a look at my own behavior and think to myself, what did I do to give haters that inch that they could take me down with? And it's my own fault. If I hadn't done something wrong, I wouldn't have been taken down. That's just the reality. And you can't even admit that you did something wrong. That's a problem. That's a problem. Just admit it. You say that you've done nothing wrong and you're targeted. Then why are all these other channels still here? Can you tell me that? Can you tell me why, Dorothy or Granny or, I mean, a whole list of people that I know people have like mass reported are still here and you're not? Could you explain that to me? Because honestly, that's the difference. If you were following the rules, you would still be here. And that's what I have to tell myself. If I had been following the rules and not gotten cocky and not, decided that I, thought I wouldn't get caught or whatever, and even if it was something stupid, because what happened to me was something very stupid, I have to take accountability for what I had. And you know what, Natasha, I know what it takes to build social media. Have you had 129,000? Because I have. I have had 129,000 on my Instagram before it got taken down. I blew up overnight. It was, I could tell my story in more detail and kind of explain to you guys what happened. And I'll show you guys the screenshots too. Because, I was angry. And at first I was pointing the fingers. And at first I was like, this is bullshit. And, it's just the haters taking me down. But then I really had to look at what I did to allow that. And I made a mistake. And I think once you can acknowledge that and you can come to terms with that, because I don't even think you've come to terms with that personally, when you can do that, I think you'll be a much happier person and less angry. Because, you think that I didn't. Yeah. 129. Although, guys, I don't know if you guys have noticed on Instagram lately, now they have this thing where you can subscribe to people's channel, like to their Instagram accounts. And I'm like, where was that when I was on there? Do you know how much money I could have made doing it that way? Like, they didn't even have that feature. But, I lost it all. I lost everything overnight. I woke up one day and one of my admins texted me, and she was in Puerto Rico. So her screen was in Spanish that I didn't understand. So she sent it to me and I didn't really know what I was reading because, I had to hire people to help me because I couldn't manage it by myself. And that was actually the best decision I had ever made. Though the reason I got taken down was, well, because somebody was mad at me. Somebody was upset that I wouldn't allow them to use my platform to talk to underage girls. So, I guess I'm a horrible person for, putting my foot down about that. I know, go figure. But, yeah. So that's neither here nor there. And yeah, I woke up one day and then she texted me again and I was like, what are you texting me? And she's like, your page is gone. Like, it's gone. I can't get onto it. It keeps saying it's not available. When I try to log in, did you change the password? And I'm like, no, I didn't change the password. And then I went and I was like, holy shit, they did. It's gone. And I didn't even know anybody was reporting me. I found out later because this person came clean to me and told me what happened, even though I suspected it. I was like, I knew he did it. I knew he was behind it, but no one person has that power to get you taken down. And if it was a mistake, if you really had done nothing wrong and it was a mistake because people hate you, you'd have your channels back. And you don't. And you don't. And it's been how many months now? So just take accountability and move on. Seriously. Let's keep going.
And I told y'all this shit, and I told y'all this shit, and I told y'all this shit. Underestimate me. That'll be fun. How'd that go, Merb? I told you last year you needed to concentrate on your channel because it was circling the drain. And you needed to worry less about what I was doing and more about what your channel was doing because it was stagnant. Here we are a year later. Where's all your folks? Because there was 300 plus last night and Nana Patties who can't stand your ass. 300 plus. Looks to me like you ain't got much of a damn channel and you got 12 people up on panel. Who wants to hear that shit? Nobody. See, I don't need that.
Okay.
I don't need people.
Let's stop you right there. So, Natasha, you spent the better part of, and maybe you don't need it. I mean, I would suggest it because half the time your lives are just dead silence. Now, Natasha, I have a very strong suspicion that she's buying some, some stuff to help her analytics, and I will be able to go through that. And I can actually, I have an experiment that I want us to all do together. And I would like preferably about 100 people willing to participate. But I mean, yeah, it would have to be. It would have to be about 100 people that are willing. And it's really easy and nobody will even know you did it. And no, it's not flagging anybody. It's not anything like that. But I want to show you guys about analytics. I want to show you how this works. And she's going to talk about it. And she's like obsessed with Carolyn's analytics and stuff. And I mean, honestly, she tries to say later on in here that building a channel to 40K isn't a big deal. And it's not an accomplishment. And I'm like, says the woman who's sitting here with like less than 2,000 subscribers. But okay, whatever you say. And your growth isn't organic. Let's be honest. And yeah, I hate these people that put themselves on this pedestal as better than you, something special and superior, God's gift to YouTube and channel building. It's such a like inflated sense of self that is going to be a really harsh wake up when that comes crashing down, which it inevitably will. Because like I said, Natasha's method of building business, and it's not sustainable. We've seen it. We've seen how it's not sustainable, and it'll continue to happen. It's a cycle. If you do things the slow way and the right way, it's not going to yield results quickly, but it benefits and it pays off. And honestly, I'm just going to say this right now, and maybe I'm wrong because I know nothing about, I have not looked at Carolyn's analytics. I don't know anything about it, but you don't know how many members she has. You don't know how many memberships she has. So maybe there are people that support her with the memberships that aren't, maybe in chat or, because Carolyn is on at weird hours. I mean, that's very true. She definitely is, because I mean, at least for me and where I live, it's weird hours, but you have to take that into account too. And you have to take into account that a lot of her channel was built on true crime. And while she does, she does cover true crime a little bit and stuff still. I mean, she does a lot of crafts now too, which might not be everybody's cup of tea, but think about it this way. Even if it's not their cup of tea and they're not like participating in chat, they still haven't unsubbed. So that says something. And I mean, some people forget to unsubscribe to people, but not that many. But that's okay. I know that Natasha needs to discredit everybody else, and especially Carolyn, to make herself feel better about herself. So, I mean, you keep saying you're going to do true crime, Natasha. Where's the true crime that you keep saying you're going to do? Where is that? Because I haven't really seen it. I haven't really seen it. I would love to see you do true crime about, as you said, any old case. So, do one that isn't trending, and let's see what you have. Let's see what you have. And I love that Natasha says that Carolyn just reads headlines when Natasha literally just streamed the news. So I don't get it. I don't get it. It's like these people live in like a fantasy land where they are like the almighty candy kings and queens, and they just, or I don't know whatever. And it's annoying, quite frankly. And like I said, it's going to be quite the wake-up call when everything comes crumbling down, which it will. And Natasha, I mean, I don't know. I guess she's got, well, let's continue.
Up here to carry me.
Yes,
I don't need a panel full of people to entertain anybody.
But, Natasha, the time that your channel grew the fastest, the time that you were really growing and people were really engaging and investing in your channel was when you were having those many panel guests up, when you guys would like sing Stroke It or Strokin' or whatever that song is. and like everybody would be in their little square dancing to it at 2 in the morning. Yeah, those panels. With all your panel guests that now hate your guts. Those ones, the ones that you discarded and, told them that they were unimportant and not valued by your community or your channel, when a lot of them really carried your channel, if I'm honest. A lot of them, because seriously, all you do is you would just, this is how it would go. There would be all these people up on your panel, and they'd all be carrying the show while you sat there and scrolled through shopping, spending that 20K, which is what I think you did with the 20K, because you were doing an awful lot of shopping back then from Amazon, just piles of stuff. You even mentioned Natasha. I don't know why I keep switching between like first and second person, but I'm trying not to. And Natasha even said at one point that the person who delivers her mail was just so like upset with her and hated her because they would just have trash bags full of Amazon stuff and just throw it on her porch. There was also a time where she turned the camera around and you could see it was basically stacked floor to ceiling with Amazon boxes. It was just she was just ordering one thing after another, after another, after another. And it was just insane. But this is when the people that were on her panel were carrying it. They were the entertainment. And I'm talking about people like Scarlett, Sally Ann, Christy Ann, Leanne, Glenn, Doug, and probably Siren was another frequent up there, and definitely was one of the main people that would carry all of that. I'm probably forgetting a few people, and I'm so sorry if I am. Those are just the people that like stuck out to me being up there. But that was the entertainment as far as I'm concerned. It wasn't really her. And then she'd go silent, or she was eating, or now she just goes la la la, or it's just dead silence completely. And I don't really know what talent that takes, Natasha. I just don't get it. I don't know. I just don't understand it. But that's okay. Maybe I don't need to understand it. Maybe maybe I should just consider myself lucky and like a more evolved being that I don't understand it. But let's continue. I just don't like the fact that she did that to the people that put their time into helping her on her panel. Like, it was her mods and stuff that did all of the work. All of the work. And the thanks they get is being told that she never liked them and that they suck and that all of this when they leave. What a slap in the face to the people that really helped her out a lot. And that was when her channel was thriving. Her channel was thriving then. It was. It is not anymore, but it was then. And I have to give it to her. Credit where credit's due. She was almost at 10K, I think. And she was growing really steadily. So, but that's the difference. She always had people on panel then. Always. A large group of them. And that's who people were coming to see. And she can't stand it. She can't stand the fact that people go to those people's channels. I mean, we see it with Glenn. We see it with, oh God. Oh, why am I drawing a blank here? When Whiskey recently was, she was distraught that people were actually choosing to be in Whiskey's chat over hers. And she was just nasty about that. I have a video that I'm gonna, oh my God, my cat's like rubbing his face on my laptop. So hopefully he doesn't ruin everything. Chicory, please don't. This is Chicory Von Fluffy Butt. He's going to try to step on everything. This is a very special kitty. I might have to introduce you guys to him soon. But yeah, so I really just don't, I mean, that's just so rude to the people that really helped you. I don't necessarily like some of the people that have helped me get to where I am now, but I'm not going to forget that they did help me. I'm not going to ever say they didn't. I'm not going to ever say that they had nothing to do with things. That's just a lie. That's just a lie. Because I can't stand some of the people that helped me out. But nobody built my channel. So, Dorothy, please stop saying that, because I actually gained way more subs when I just started doing my own thing after you decided to start lying about me completely out of the blue for no reason whatsoever. Yeah. But like, no. You have that. And you say it about everybody, though. So, I mean, there you go. There's probably another person with an inflated sense of ego and just lives in La La Land where they are like the almighty, bow to the queen. So let's continue, though.
Oh, I've said it before and I'll say it again. It's not because I am conceited.
Yes, it is.
It's because I am confident in the abilities that I have. I could get on here and clip my damn toenails and people would watch. Just because I would be talking.
But you
And
don't
I
talk.
Know why people find me amusing, because I don't get the whole funny thing, because I just get on here and talk. But they do.
You don't talk. You just sit in silence half the time. Like this.
There is not one of you that I am jealous of. There is not one of you who has anything for me to be jealous of.
I feel the
ain't
same
fake.
way.
I don't pretend. I am exactly who the hell I am.
That's fair. So I'll give her that. I don't think Natasha is fake, and I don't think she pretends to be anybody other than who she is. I think that's very true. And she's actually one of the only ones on here who is not fake. I actually will give her that. I will give her that. But that just says that just shows you what you need to know, though, is that this is who she is. She's not coming on here putting on a persona or presenting herself in like her professional way that I would, and then being, I don't actually, you know what, that's not even an argument. We went through that yesterday. The fact that I present myself the way I would to a normal stranger professionally, and then, you know, turns out I have a playful, funny, kind of mean streak, you know, personal side of me. That's a normal human being thing. That's not even the same genre. I don't know why I'm even not same genre, same ballpark. But yeah, this is exactly who she is. Exactly who she is. Mean, rude, arrogant, a liar, a grifter, in my opinion. And yeah, I'll agree with you there, Natasha. I don't think that you're fake at all. I think you're very real, and I think that that's, you know, just proves everybody's point.
Every day. And I have been since I first started. Natasha fucking Cooper.
And that's why people have had an issue with you since you started.
On everything I do. When I can.
Bingo. Okay, did you guys hear that? So that's why she does everything with her name when she can. She had to add that in. Because she can't do some things from her name. Can you, Natasha? And why is that? Why can't you come on here and change your account name to Natasha Cooper? I challenge you to do it. Change your account name of your channel to Natasha Cooper again. You can't, can you? And why is that? Why is that? Surely it's not because you're not supposed to be here and your name would give that away. Surely it's not that. Surely it's not. Just the same way that you can't monetize, because that also alerts, because it's through your AdSense is through your social security number. And you know she's not going to trust anyone else with her finances. So if she monetizes, that is when YouTube will remove her channel. It's not because people can't report her until she gets monetized, as she says. She literally says that. She says, well, when I monetize, that's when people can report me. No, people can report you right now. It doesn't make a difference if you're monetized or not. What are you talking about? Stop lying to people and yourself. And I mean, I think you're probably lying to yourself too. It's ridiculous, and it's getting old. It's getting old. You know, there's only so much of this that I'm going to even talk about, but I do have a large backlog of clips that I do want to go through, and I intend to. And if people enjoy it, I am very glad to hear that. So, like I said, hit that like button, hit that subscribe, and give me feedback down in the comments. If you enjoy my content, please let me know in the comments. You know, feed me cookies, tell me I'm pretty, tell me you like my channel. I'll love you forever. All right, let's continue.
I don't have to put on a facade or pretend that I'm somebody that I'm not, or be some internet Billy badass, because I am a badass.
Are you?
And I know it. I ain't got to tell nobody. Y'all know it too. That's why y'all also scared.
No one's scared of you.
That's why y'all all have to band together to try and take me down.
No one's trying to take you down.
You can't do it by yourselves because you're weak.
Oh, okay.
And I'm not.
So you're admitting here that people can't just take you down on their own, right? Okay, that's good to know. That's good to know, because that's absolutely true. Nobody can just report you and have it be you taken down. And nobody's really banding together to take you down. I think the majority of us who speak about you really don't care if you're here or not. I certainly don't. I don't care if you're on YouTube or not. At this point, I would, I'd be happy if they gave you your channels, just so you could shut up and stop using it as an excuse to sad fish and grift and just be absolutely insufferable. But that's just me. I've never reported you. I don't feel the need to censor people. I would, I don't like your behavior, which is why I call you out, which is why I come on here and discuss the stuff that's going on. But I certainly have never reported. The only people I've reported, actually, ironically, Natasha, the only videos that I have reported on here, and, and to you too, Dorothy, the only two videos I've ever reported on here were the one that somebody made about your dead aunt, Natasha, and the one somebody made about your son, Dorothy, recently, about that lie that somebody was spreading around that really had no place on YouTube either. I've reported those two videos, but I've never reported any others. Just saying.
Weak little bitches who have to wah and sit on a panel like a bunch of cackling little hens to talk about me and what I'm doing. Instead, y'all should be on your own damn channels worrying about why they ain't growing. But instead, y'all on somebody else's panel talking about me and worrying about what I'm doing, what I'm getting, what I'm going to get, what I'm going to do.
You, Natasha, you. And I wish I had this clip like on hand so I could play it. And I know I went through it on a different live, but you were the one sitting there crying, telling your entire chat who was in Whiskey OG's chat and naming them one by one by one, and saying how much money that he had gotten and that you were counting or somebody was counting for you. What's the difference? What's the difference? And nobody's that obsessed with you. Nobody's doing that I've seen. Nobody I subscribe to anyway. I've never seen anything come in my feed where somebody is literally keeping track of every penny that you receive. And how would anybody even do that? That's not even possible. You can't get super chats. So I'm really struggling to understand how anyone would even do that. Now, maybe I'll use this as a segue for my own thing. Did you guys know that if you're watching this on replay, you can also help me out financially, and you can also send me something that's kind of like a super chat? It's called a super thanks, and it's, where your like button is. If you scroll over to the right, there's a button there that you can, leave me a super thanks if you feel so inclined to let me know that if you like my content and you want to support the channel. Always appreciated, of course, because obviously any and everything I get is more than welcomed and appreciated, but your support and just even liking this video and subscribing is more than enough as well. But I figured I would put that out there because a lot of people don't know about the super thanks thing. And actually, when I stopped playing this video, I will show you guys exactly where that is. Oh my God, Chicory! Stupid kitty. You're not a stupid kitty. I love you. He just knocked over an entire bottle of water on me. That's great. Okay. Silly kitty. He's so naughty, too. Like, he has to be the center of attention. He's not a stupid kitty. I didn't mean that. I'm so sorry, Chicky. I'm sorry, buddy. I didn't mean that. I'm a terrible person. All right, let's continue. Now he's going to start chewing on plastic that he can find somewhere. He'll probably take something out of the trash.
Yeah. That right there is why y'all will never amount to anything. Because I don't care if I'm asleep. I don't care if I'm awake. I am always thinking about the next step I'm going to take to further the brand that I'm trying to build.
Okay. I know.
And that's the difference between me and y'all. Because I take this shit serious. And y'all over here counting how many sips of a drink I take.
How is that working for you, Natasha?
I'm thinking bigger, better.
Right. And you're doing it wrong. What you're doing might gain results in the short term, but you are not building a sustainable business. It's not sustainable. And I think you know that. I don't think that matters to you, though, because you can just grab the cash and run, which you've done many times. So I guess, that's what's the difference between you and me, is that it's not that I'm not smart. It's not that I don't know how to do this. Quite the contrary. I just do it differently. And there's method to my madness. And if I did have the time to put into building my channel and my brand, imagine calling it your brand, a recliner. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I know that you're trying to trademark your name. Oh, to the people who donated to her legal fund, imagine finding out that that's what she's doing with your money, that she preached about the fact that she was going to make it a better place for subs and a place with less bullying and where subs can be subs and free and roam the streets without fear of repercussions. Imagine finding out that she was using your money to trademark her name. I'd be pretty pissed. Although I'd already be pretty pissed. And I almost donated to that too. I almost donated to that, but thank God I didn't. Thank God I didn't. Thank God. And I've been more than generous on here with a lot of stuff, and I tend to help where I can. I'm not really in a position where I can help anyone at this point, but I always, if I can, I will. It's just that it just didn't feel right to me. It didn't feel right. There's like something is off about this, and that's actually really when I started thinking, and I started being like, maybe there's some truth to the stuff that I've heard. But let's continue.
And y'all worrying about how many sips I'm drinking.
Nobody
Or
cares.
how many dollars somebody's donating.
Nobody cares.
Because y'all so jealous because ain't nobody donating to y'all.
Nobody's jealous.
Well, if you put the damn hard work in and build a community that's actually based on something other than your bullshit.
What's your channel
lies,
based on?
You might have the same thing.
What are you based
but
on?
But none of y'all want to do that. Y'all want to be internet famous. I don't give a shit about being no damn internet famous.
No, you just want to scam.
I give a shit about being me. Like Primer
a scammer
does.
All right, what's
We're
this?
doing a sale here in about 30 minutes. I'm actually doing stickers now.
All right, the makeup shit.
So.
Oh, okay. So let me explain what's in the background here. So this is Mommy Rambling's other page that she has. I think she has a other channel in addition to, Mommy Rambling's blog, and Natasha is using this as an opportunity to basically say that. Oh, that's interesting, Natasha. You were subscribed to Mrs. Portland even way back then. That's interesting. Okay. Saying that, she could never build another channel and that. But guys, I don't really think Carolyn kind of pushes this channel at all. I've never really heard her promote it heavily or aggressively. So, I mean, I'm not surprised a lot of people don't know that it's there. So how, if you don't put the effort in to promote your channel, to network, and this seems, it seems that her efforts go into her main channel, then of course it's not going to grow like that. And, she's not going live from it every day. So of course it's not going to grow at the same rate. That doesn't even make sense, Natasha. So stop trying to say that you're something superior and that everybody else is a failure when it's not even the same circumstances. But that's what's in the background here. So yes, Mommy Ramblings does have another channel. I believe it is called Show and Sell. Yeah. So that's what she's showing here in the back. And she's saying, well, she joined all this time ago and she still, hasn't even gotten 500. Well, I don't really think that that's because nobody wants to. I think that's because, she really just doesn't promote it, and it's not a drama channel, and she's using it for a specific purpose. You know what I mean? It's not even the same thing, but whatever. Natasha just has to find anything to make herself feel better about herself and put everybody else down.
You can go to my mind just went blank. You can go to my link tree, and check out. I saw what you said, and I want to explain something. When you get to 20,000 subs, they start reporting everything in 100 sub increments. So it doesn't necessarily mean that she bought 100 subs. It just means that she got 100 subs. I'm not saying she didn't buy them, but
you would know about that too, wouldn't you?
The reasoning behind it.
Oh, you would know all about that. You would know all about that, wouldn't you, Natasha? So you would know exactly about how that works. No, I can't speak to, if anyone else is buying subscribers, and I know that there's a lot of people that like to say this or that. That is not something that I care about, or else you're on here bragging and saying that you do things organically and you do things the right way and that you are somehow some shining example of how to build a channel. I really have no desire to go into your analytics and, look at it with the scope that I can as, I more or less, what I can actually say, I'm more or less a professional. I know what I'm looking at, and I can analyze them. I'm in grad school. I actually just finished a class on it. So I'm pretty well versed in how to do that. So I'm not even going to bother going into that. Although, I mean, maybe I'll take a look, but I haven't seen anything, and nothing like what you're doing. I haven't seen anybody that I looked up, and I looked up a couple people a couple months ago when I was going into it. So I looked up, I even looked up Dorothy. And, nobody else. Dorothy, I looked up Granny's Watching. I looked up Crafton and Kim. I looked up Dorothy and maybe Country Joe. And all of them their analytics show organic growth. Yours, on the other hand, shows that there's some dishonesty going on. And we're going to go over that. And like I said, I have a experiment that we are going to be doing that I can prove that. So let's continue.
Well, what it means is that she's gained 100 subs since the last time it reported that she gained 100 subs. So it could have taken her that long to get another 100 subs. Do you see what I'm saying?
That's not
my wrist
entirely accurate.
is better than it was, but it is still hurting. I took my a field trip, shall we? I have 4 channels currently, actually 5. And let's talk about the numbers on those channels.
This is so interesting.
When they were created, because I'm going to spit some facts at you.
Are they facts, though?
Things that are made up in my head that I want other people to believe.
Wow,
But some actual facts.
projection.
Let's talk about it for a minute.
Projection.
So,
oh boy,
on this channel, bow to the Queen. I have 1,943 subs.
Yeah.
1,570 of those are in the last 28 days.
Right, because you're buying subscribers. That's why, like, if you look at your analytics, it's pretty clear that there's something not right about it. So it is not in any way how somebody with organic growth, and you weren't even going live every day. You weren't at this point in time when this clip was from, and I forget the date, so I could probably look it up for you. It's on my phone somewhere. I could probably find it. But at that point in time, when I was looking into your analytics, you were barely going live at all, actually. So to have that amount of channel growth without putting in effort, it doesn't add up. It doesn't add up. It also doesn't add up that you're consistent. I'm going to show you guys. But here she is, and she's going to be bragging and say that, these are her numbers and her channels, and nobody else can top that. Nobody else can compete with her, because she is the almighty master of channel building, and we should all bow to the Queen. No, thank you. And I just find it interesting that she's like, I don't know if she's trying to convince herself of this. I mean, maybe her audience. I'm not really sure. But yeah, something's not right. And I mean, she does have a group of supporters that, she does have, and it's, to be fair, it's a much larger community than mine, and that's okay. That's okay. I also don't have time to put on to this, and I'm not on here. I haven't been on here as long as her, and it's fine. That doesn't mean that we're not the same, Natasha. You and we're not the same, and not for the reasons you think.
Okay. Now, this channel was created on June 18th of 2022. It is not quite 2 months old, and I almost have 2,000 subs.
Same thing with the analytics on that one. It's some fuckery
Y'all got
going
that?
on.
In less than 2 months, I have 101,544 views.
And how is
and
that,
doesn't
Natasha?
include all of the videos that I have either deleted or privated.
And how is that?
101,000 views in less than 2 months.
Uh-huh.
If I had 40,000 subs, I would have thousands of people watching. I had 28,000 and had thousands watching. But you took that away because you were jealous.
Nobody took that
and
away. Nobody did that to you. You did it to yourself. Stop saying that. And you only had thousands of people watching on that when you were doing the potato case. I saw you try to do other true crime on that channel, and you had like 50 people watching. And this was when you were at that high amount of numbers. So surely, by your logic, you would have had a whole thousands of people watching you with doing your lives about the missing children. Surely you would have thousands of people watching you when you were revisiting, what was the other one that you did? Diatlov, or some of the other ones you did before your channel was removed because of your behavior. And that channel probably wouldn't have been removed if you hadn't behaved the way that you did on Recline. That's just a fact. But your numbers didn't actually, you know what? I might have those too. I might have that. Oh, I think I do. I think I do. I think I can prove that. Yeah. So your views were not even close to good, or like nobody cared about anything else that you did except when you were streaming the Gabby Petito stuff. So I don't understand how you're superior or better at anything at all. But that's okay if that's what makes you happy and, helps you sleep at night and makes you feel better about yourself. You do you. You do you. I'm just saying.
Planned to take it down.
Nobody.
That's okay, because see the difference between you and I, Merb, I can do it again.
Can you though?
I've done it before.
Do it. Do it.
I'm not a one-hit wonder like you. The Watts case was your one and done. And now you're done. You've been done. You've just been too dumb to realize it. You do not have what it takes. And the fact.
And you're done too, Natasha. You were removed from YouTube. You're not supposed to be here. So game over. You don't exist. You don't exist. From that point forward, you don't exist until YouTube makes a decision. And, if they decide that they want to let you back on, which I don't know, I think it's very telling that nothing's happened. I think it's very telling that, because I don't know anybody else who's had their channel removed and not given back for, especially if, like you said, it was for no reason. I don't know anyone else this has happened to. I don't know anybody else whose AdSense has been, flagged to the point where if they monetize, they get taken down. That's some pretty serious stuff that's gone on. Like, you really have to have done something that is very against terms of service for YouTube to even care. Because, think of how many channels are on YouTube. Do you think they really would care that much about one little tiny channel did if there was nothing wrong and they hadn't done anything wrong? No, they wouldn't have. So, I don't know, Natasha. No.
That you have so many ridiculous links in every video description.
You jealous?
Shows me that you know nothing about marketing and advertising. I taught myself how to do it.
Okay.
And I know how to get an audience. And once I get them, I keep them.
Do you though?
Because I'm not boring.
You're oh my God. She is boring though. I mean, she can be entertaining. I used to enjoy Natasha. I used to think she was entertaining. A lot of us used to think she was entertaining. But like recently, like what is her content? It's insufferable. It's like, I can't even listen to it, guys. I can't even go over there and even, if I want to get clips, I'm like, this is just so boring. All it is her humming or being completely silent or grifting or talking about douche canoe. There's really no other content that she does anymore. Or she has some tragedy or injustice or something that has happened to her that people should be outraged about. That's it. There's nothing funny about her anymore. There's nothing interesting. There's nothing engaging. It's actually quite off-putting, and I'm not the only one who thinks that. Now, you say that you can maintain an audience. Is that why you have as much turnover as you do? Is that maintaining an audience, really? Because I don't think it is. That's what I'm saying. Your business model is not sound. It is not sustainable. It is not set up for long-term success. But I know that doesn't matter to Natasha because Natasha just wants to make as much money as possible, as fast as possible, and does not care about the consequences afterwards. Like, not my style. We're not the same.
And I tell a story. You read things off.
And you stream the news.
You passed 40,000. You got your 40,000 subs. God. December 3rd. You've gained 200 subs since December.
So?
200. The majority of the subs that you have are people who subscribed during the Watts case.
Some people just aren't willing to, abuse hashtags and try to get into the algorithm for things that their lives have nothing to do with and try to jump on the bandwagons of hot topics to be able to, some people really just don't care that much about growth to, cut corners and do it in that way. I don't think that's really what it's about. I just don't see it that way for everybody. I know that that's what you do to push yourself forward. And I guess, you can't hate the hustle. Sure. I guess. It's not my style. I like to earn what I do. I don't like to, it's not the same thing. That's like being, proud of accomplishing something that you kind of got, from a technicality, it's not real. It's not like, you're better than anybody. It's just you happen to take advantage of a loop. I don't know. You guys know what I'm trying to say, though. But yeah, Natasha, you ain't all that.
and have
Chicory,
forgotten
stop.
that they have a membership.
Hold on, guys.
You've had your
Oh my
channel
God.
for years. And
Hold on, guys. I'm sorry. Chicory. Chicory, no. No, no. No, no. Where's that plastic? No, no. Where is it? What are you chewing on? Did you take this out of the trash? Naughty kitty. Chicory, I'm not getting up again to do that. Please stop. Please stop. I know you want attention. I'll give you lots of pets in just a minute. Okay, Mr. Fluffy Boot? All right, I'm back. Sorry. I couldn't mute. I don't know how to get off of the screen, but yeah. Natasha, she just, in order to validate herself, I'm sorry, I have a fidget toy. It's one of those pop-it things. So if that's annoying in the background, I'm sorry. It's like a keychain. I love it. It's like my favorite thing in the world. But Chicky, guys, he is being insufferable. No, Chicory. Jeez, stop. Where are you getting this from? Oh, guys. All right, guys, hold on one second. I'm sorry. I have to go wash my hands. So that cat spit all over it. Hold on. And I can't mute, so hold on. Okay. Are you done, sugar? All right, guys. Okay. Imagine being that insecure that you have to bring other people down to make yourself feel better. I swear to you guys.
And just got to 40,000.
Yeah.
Mine, the True Crime Channel, I had 9 months and had 28,000.
Yes, because oh my God, because you got onto a hot topic and your channel grew. Probably like what happened with Carolyn with the Watts case. She was covering something pertinent. People liked what she was doing, and she grew from that. And then did you grow much more after the Petito case, Natasha? No, you sure didn't. You sure didn't. In fact, you lost subs. What's the difference? What's the difference? Some people, they have a case at least, I don't know. At least some people do it the right way. At least some people don't, exploit cases and, put clickbait titles like you did just to get people's attention and get them to click on it, which you admitted to, and then justify it by saying you put a question mark, or especially when it's something salacious about a deceased woman. Some people have morals and a feeling of ethical obligation to do it the right way. And I respect those people. And it seems to be few and far between. And you're certainly not one of them. Come on. Dead silence. I got these drinks from the dollar store. So good.
You don't have a perfect family. You don't have a perfect husband. You don't have perfect kids.
Are you
I
serious?
don't care if you got 15 lake houses. You look like you just crawled out of a darn coffin. You live next to the lake and you look like that. You going on bike rides every day? Well, you sure ain't getting no sun. That 3,000 SPF is working, Shug.
Supposed to wear sunscreen.
I don't need BMWs or big houses or to brag that I live by a lake to be happy. I'm perfectly happy here in my rented double wide with my family who loves me, who participates with me.
Oh, I think this is good, guys. Hold on. I think this is... Say it.
And who I have good relationships with.
Say it. Say it.
I'm not up at 4 a.m. screaming like a banshee.
Say it.
So you can brag about all those things that you have, but you can get taken down the same way that I did.
We all can.
You can lose everything overnight.
If you make a mistake.
Because you don't have integrity. If I lost everything, if the internet went away, I would still have my family. That's all I need.
Say
you would
it.
be the same miserable old bat that you are now. Hoarding up napkins and baby dolls like you're 12.
So?
And you want to talk about Nana Patty and Move 2 and how old they are and ask their age? Lady, you ain't no spring chicken. I know you get your period. I didn't say you weren't a freak of nature. I said you're no spring chicken.
But you called her old, like that was one of your go-tos. You would call her a hunchback, you would call her old, you would call her, I mean, there was a whole slew of names. And I think Natasha's about to say something that I've been wanting. I wanted to make a short video of it any otherwise, but and it's like a lie that like is kind of petty to point out, but it's a lie nonetheless. And pointing out all the stuff that Carolyn has going, and I think that that's just really truthful of what Natasha is jealous of. Natasha can say all she wants that she's not jealous of having those sorts of things, and I think she is a little. I think she is. I think she is. And who cares what time she's up talking or whatever? Like, who cares? Why does that bother you? If you're in a house where the kids are upstairs and you're like far away, what's the difference? At least she's not in a trailer where you can hear everything that's going on, yelling and screaming at 4 a.m. when you can hear their child talking on their gaming system in the background, so the kid can hear it at 4. I'm just saying, at least it's not that, like some other people do, but or have done. But yeah, she is just to go after people for things like that. It just shows what kind of person you are and what you value. Not everybody values the same things you do, Natasha. That's like ridiculous. But I think she's about to say something I've been like itching to point out. But hold on.
You're not fooling anybody with your filters. We all saw your eyebrows and your lips moving across the screen.
And we've seen you without a filter.
Disappearing into your cup. People can accuse me of whatever they want to, but I don't use a filter.
Yes, you do.
This is nothing but my laptop. I don't have no fancy camera. I don't have a ring light. I don't have none of that shit because it's too much trouble to use it. I get on here as myself.
Either that or she puts on pounds of makeup because, I've seen, I mean, I could try to post some right now, pictures of when she was using her phone, in portrait mode with the phone camera right up to her face. I mean, she even acknowledges that she has sunspots and stuff. Well, you know what, Natasha, first of all, I suggest starting to wear sunscreen. Sunscreen is something that's actually really important. And people really should be wearing sunscreen. I just started wearing sunscreen consistently maybe a year or two ago, and I wish I had done it sooner, but it's super important. And, I don't know why you're saying that as if it's something to be proud of. It's not really healthy to have, sunspots. I mean, I have them too, but that means you're doing something wrong. And I know you live in Florida, so that's even more important to wear sunscreen. And people, that's part of taking care of yourself, which you clearly don't do. So, I mean, I guess I shouldn't be surprised. But that's a reminder to all of you. I am the sunscreen police. So that's one thing I'm like really, really, really on top of. I think there are some people that I know listen to me who have been on the phone with me and they've heard me be the sunscreen police, like in my personal life at home. So I'm laughing because I haven't always been either. Like, well, I am to other people, but like not myself. But I have started to take care of myself with that lately, because I got to keep my face beautiful, of course, right? Yeah, never mind. But let's continue here.
And hell yeah, I got brown spots on my face. Sure do.
Then how come you can't see them?
Life lived.
No.
Because I have been out in the sun my entire life. I live in Florida. I have been at the beach. I have been swimming. I have been at softball tournaments with my child. I've never missed one of my children's games or any other event other than one. And that was one of Hannah's games, and that was because I was in the hospital.
No,
Can you say the same?
That's not true. So, in fact, we all witnessed this. Remember when your channel Natasha, when your channel went down the first time originally, when everything kind of when all of this started. And Mariah, I'm just saying this. I don't like talking about children. I am not talking about M. I don't want to do that. Okay. That has nothing to do with this. I'm just saying the name because it's pertinent to what I'm about to say. That's all. That's all. I don't talk about kids. We don't talk about kids here. Okay. But M had a concert that night and you were going to go. And then you came online and said that you've been so upset and so, trying to do YouTube and figure that out that you missed the concert. And I remember thinking to myself, imagine not, like having your YouTube channel be more important than your child's like recital or event. That's, YouTube can wait. Like, it's not that important. It's not that important. Your child is, like, in my life anyway, about how I view things. I could wait till and be like, you know what, I'll deal with YouTube tomorrow. Let's put that on hold. Let's go do this and be supportive of my child, and then we'll deal with this. But that's the honest to God truth. And I mean, I don't know anybody who can deny that. That literally was online. It happened. She said that, and I know that's like a petty thing to even point out, but it's still the it still plays into how she, like, kind of props up her own self-importance and her own, superior, like, morality, and her superior, just being a superior person in general to everybody else, who in just, yeah. And I just, it's like this self-importance that's just obnoxious. And no, just stop with that. It drives me nuts. And like I said, I don't want to talk about in my opinion, children have nothing to do with it, and that's not even something that I even want to have discussed at all. Like, well, how is that relevant to, what's going on online? There's nothing relevant about that. Nothing whatsoever. So, and I've made myself very clear about that. So yeah, I'm not on here looking to do that. But everybody, I know people will be like, you say the word parenting, oh, they're talking about my parenting, and somebody just says, so and so has children, you're talking about my children. I know how it gets brought into this like that. So you can't even say somebody's name or even acknowledge that they have children without, we'll start bringing kids into it. So I mean, and then you have people who actually do bring kids into it, and those people need to be called out. But it's like there's other people that just it's weird and it's ridiculous. So let's save the outrage for the people that actually deserve it, shall we? The ones that actually do bring children into it, and stop with the people that just say, so and so has a child, and they're like, don't talk about my kids. Oh my god, it's so okay, let's continue. Oh, yeah, I'm giving you guys more than I thought I was going to. Oh, we'll go a little bit longer.
I've never missed one event in my children's lives, ever.
That's what I'm trying to say. It's not the ever.
Because first and foremost, I am their mother, and they are my number one priority, and they always will be, all of them.
Except when your channels get taken down. I mean, that's just...
I'm proud of my wrinkles. I'm proud of my gray roots.
Nobody was saying anything about that.
And I am proud of every one of my almost 47 years.
Except you were making fun of Carolyn.
I am damn sure proud of my children.
And Scooter for being older.
And they know their mama's not perfect. And I don't try to be. I sure as shit don't profess to be.
Like I said, guys, I will give that to Natasha. I will give that to Natasha. Natasha is very real. Natasha's not fake. Natasha doesn't come on here trying to pretend to be anybody about who she is. That's very true. And when she says that, that is absolute fact, in my opinion, I think. But I don't know if that's really helping her cause or not. But no, she's not one of the sneaky snakes or chameleons out here that that are literally the opposite of who they portray themselves to be. And I don't know, it is what it is, and you just kind of have to roll with it. And it's hard to spot these people sometimes, but once you do, you can't unsee it, and you're like, damn, But that's okay. Natasha's not one of those. Natasha has her own problematic behaviors that are much more apparent, and she does own it for the most part, except when it comes to taking accountability for her mistakes. Her behavior, guys know there's a difference. She knows that she's nasty and mean, and she'll acknowledge that she's nasty and mean. She'll say that. She doesn't apologize for it, but she knows that she is. But when it comes to actual wrongdoing, the reason her channel was removed from YouTube, she'll never take accountability for that. Never. And it'll always be because somebody else did this to me. That's literally how it will always be. It'll never be, hey, you know, I was wrong. I overreacted. I jumped the gun. And I've come on here and said that. I've been like, hey, you know, I was angry. I jumped the gun. I assumed something and I spoke about it and I shouldn't have. I should have kept my mouth shut and waited till I had all the facts. And I've acknowledged that. I'm not perfect either. I make mistakes on YouTube all the time. I make the mistakes of trusting people I shouldn't all the time. Many times I make the mistake of getting angry about things that were just being told to me to purposely make me angry, and I manipulate it. Like, there's a lot of shit that goes on here, guys, that, like, I just, a lot of people just don't talk about, and that's fine. Like, I don't want it, doesn't need to be talked about. But I've made mistakes on here. It's been a learning experience. I've learned as I've gone on, like, the realities of things. You come on here as a new creator and you're naive. You kind of have these rose tinted glasses on. And as time goes on, you just become more and more bitter a lot of the time. But then you get to a point where you just accept things for what they are and you just do the best that you can. I can't change other people's behaviors, but I can certainly control my own, and I can certainly make it so I'm not gonna put myself, I'm not gonna, yeah, I have enough negativity. I don't want to be part of anything like that. I'm good. I'm just going to continue to do the stuff that I find interesting, that engages me. And I like going through these Natasha clips because I have a lot to say about it. And I would like to share my view, and I like to hear what you guys think. It's not because I'm obsessed or like she says, like, I have nothing else to talk about. I can talk about a lot of things. I don't really, care. I just like to, this is something that piques my interest right now. And I have some other stuff in the works as well. I've had a lot of stuff in the works that I, just don't ever have the motivation to come on and do, but I want to be more consistent about coming on and doing videos and spending some time with you guys. And that is my resolution to you guys, that I want to try to put some time into my channel. And because you guys deserve that. If you enjoy my content, then you guys deserve it. You guys deserve as much content as I can give you, because you guys are literally the best. I appreciate all the support that I get, honestly and truly. So we're going to go a little bit longer with this, I guess. I don't want to do this whole thing, though.
But I've always, always, always got their back. And that I will always be the first one to go to bat for them and with them, no matter what. Speaking of which, I'm about to pimp my child out for a minute. That sounds terrible. But to pimp her channel out.
That's bad editing. I didn't mean to put it like that.
We're doing a huge sale today. And we are doing a huge...
Wait, what?
I don't care who y'all are.
Like I said, I literally just threw them together. And I think I saved that clip because it was funny. She was talking about that. And she's like, people are going to clip this. And I'm like, I'm going to clip it. And I'll just do exactly that. Because I was like, oh, God. But basically, what I think I accidentally cut out of that was that she said that she wanted to, because what she's doing is there was that makeup channel, and she wanted to build it for her daughter, because her daughter's channel, I guess, was also removed, which is interesting. But yeah, and she's like, well, that's, my kid, and I want to, but basically it was like a weird way of acknowledging that you're going to build a channel back, because like it either says two things. It's either like you're acknowledging that you're the reason that she lost her channel, and maybe you feel a little bad about that because your daughter didn't deserve to lose her channel, because I don't think she was really selling makeup on it at that point in time or anything like that. So I don't think that book club is breaking terms of service as far as I'm concerned. Selling makeup is a little, you're treading on some thin ice there, but you're either admitting that you feel bad, or you're just completely negating. You're like, people you've even said people shouldn't have channels if they don't put the work in. Then why are you building it for somebody else? So shouldn't they have to put the work in too? Or only if it's people you don't like? It's like I don't know, it just goes into this attitude of entitlement and cutting corners and being able to have things without working for it. And that kind of mentality bothers me. I like to earn everything that I get. It's much more rewarding that way. It also makes you a much better human being to earn the things that you have for legitimate reasons, not just have things handed to you. It's really not a good look, and it's it's kind of off-putting, honestly. But, you know, it is what it is. So I just thought it was kind of like an interesting way of her maybe admitting that, you know, she feels a little bit bad that she is the reason that her daughter's channel was removed. Because like I said, at that point in time, I can't really think of anything that would have happened on that channel that would have, you know, gotten it taken down, except if it was under Natasha's name, which it could have been, because it wouldn't surprise me if Natasha was the one profiting off of it. It kind of makes sense. It would make sense, but I don't know. Let's continue a little bit.
That gravy train is ended. Wagons is circled. The Indians is dead.
I didn't edit
Every time something like this has happened and somebody has left and had the channel, have I lost subs? Yep. But I have also seen who was loyal and who was really here because of me and who isn't. And you used several of the phrases that I use all the time last night, because I say all the time that what's done in the dark will always come to light.
I hope so.
And it has with you, time and time again. You have shown your true colors and the true colors of those around you. And then you have the nerve to get up there and talk about somebody else's true colors. Lady, please. You are the biggest joke I have ever witnessed. You think people need you? You think people are going to try to grow off of you? You can't even grow. And then you have the nerve to sit there and tell these people who have left you that they can't get to 1,000 subs. So let's show something real quick. Currently, actually 5. And let's talk about the numbers on those channels and when they were created, because I'm going to spit some facts
You're
at
gonna
you.
listen to this.
Not.
See, this is why I probably should proofread or like proof listen to my stuff, because otherwise I wouldn't run into this issue. But let's stop here, and then I will do the rest of this video next time. And I'm going to go back and I'm going to edit this part and see if I can get it to not have any repeats from before. And yeah, we'll do that. So let's stop sharing and go back here. Oh yeah, okay. I didn't realize I had been on for this long. Okay, but yeah, I'm glad that I came on here and spent a little bit of time with all of you wonderful people today. Like I said, please don't forget to hit that like button, and please consider subscribing to my channel. I also have memberships, which I plan to try to put more effort into and be more consistent about. And I kind of gave my take and my philosophy on memberships in my last live. So if you want to support the channel and you feel so inclined to become a member, that would be great. I will try to remember to put the link in the description, and if I don't, just remind me. Also, I always like to point out that if you're listening to this on the replay and you want to, support the channel in a, monetary way, but, you can't send a super chat. Sorry, that was like my Rhode Island accent, because it's not live. You can do super thanks, where you can go over here, and as you can see here where I circled it, there's that heart with the $sign in it, and you can send a super thanks, which is basically like a super chat after the fact, but obviously no pressure and no obligation to do so. A simple like and subscribe obviously suffices. And do I have anything else that I wanted to share today? Let's see. Did you guys like my book covers that I did? Because I'm telling you guys, I think Natasha is actually Lemony Snicket, because it's literally a series of unfortunate events. I'm very proud of these. Very proud of these. And how about this? Who wore it better, guys? Who wore it better? Me or my dog, Molly? Who's the better pumpkin? I know it's fall, so I'm like, I had these fall pictures, and I'm like, I think she wore it better. I think I have the goofy smile that I, still do. But that was like my first Halloween costume that I can even remember. But I also was a bee once as well, which I've shown you guys, because but I always think it's cute. Where is it? Where is it? I was just looking at it. I was literally just looking at it. Oh, there it is. There's a different Halloween. You can see with my little pumpkin. I love Halloween. Halloween is when I buy like my home decor and everything. Like, I live for Halloween. It's a lifestyle, I'm telling you. How many of you guys feel this way about like creators half the time? A creator turns out to not be who you think they are. It's like, I know you're disappointed with the way you turned out. We all are. Damn right. So many times. So many times. Let's see if there's anything else that I wanted to share on here. No. Chicory, are you okay, buddy? Chicory has asthma. And if he plays or if he's like sprinting or running around the house, he gets out of breath, and sometimes I need to intervene. Are you okay, buddy? Sweetie? I think he's okay. But he's a cat and he wants to be active and play anyway, so he doesn't let it bring him down. But yes, I hope everybody has a wonderful weekend, and I will be putting out another video and going live tomorrow, and I hope to see everybody. So make sure to keep an eye out for that, and we will go over the rest of that video, and then I have another clip video to go through as well, and a couple other things that I want to address. So yeah, have a great weekend, have a great rest of your Sunday, and I will see you guys all very, very soon.